Good morning. This morning is July 15th, 2016, and today we are going to talk about forgiveness. Martin Luther King once said, "Forgiveness is not an occasional act, it is a constant attitude." And I think this is something that we need in today's society with everything that's going on with people being hurt, people doing wrongs to each other. I think forgiveness is something that we need to practice on a daily basis. Today we're going to be talking more about forgiveness in relationships, just because that's what this video series is really about. But you don't have to necessarily apply what I'm going to say today just to boyfriend, girlfriend, husband and wife relationships. A relationship can be anything from a coworker relationship to a friend relationship, whatever your relationship is going to be. So we're going to talk about 4 different aspects of forgiveness. There's many more. We're just going to cover 4 because I just want to make this kind of video really quick and really short. And so we're going to take 4 aspects that I think are important, and kind of go from there. So the first thing we're going to talk about is understanding what you are forgiving, or understanding what was really done. A lot of times I think we get caught up in the emotion of a situation, and let's talk about cheating. Not saying that I was cheated on or anything like that, but let's talk about cheating, because I think this is the biggest thing when it comes to relationships, the biggest stumbling block that people have a difficulty. And cheating can be anything from a simple text message to to a phone call, to a quick lunch that you're not telling your partner about. I think a lot of times people think cheating is the act of physical sex with somebody or physical pleasure, and that's not the case. Cheating can be anything from, like I said, basically a little text to a little message here and there. And so if you feel that somebody did something wrong or somebody cheated on you, understanding maybe the reason why can kind of help you move forward. But then again, sometimes you may not even understand the reason why, or even get to the reason why. There are some things in my life with relationships I've had that I may never know the truth. I may never understand the why. I try to understand the why in order to see if it was something that I did that maybe caused the person to wander, meander a certain direction. And that can be many times true. There's a concept I'd like to talk about is regarding watering your garden. What I mean by this is, in relationships, you have to view it as almost a garden, where if your garden is not getting water and sunshine on a regular basis, your fruit and vegetables are not going to grow. Your relationship is much the same way. Watering your garden can be anything from simple flowers to a phone call to a text each day to to your significant other, just telling them how much you appreciate them, how much you love them, to maybe taking them camping or taking to the coast or buying them a gift. You don't have to buy them extravagant gifts. You don't have to flood your garden, but sometimes just the little things makes a huge difference. So if for some reason you weren't watering your garden and it caused the person to stray, whatever the case is, understanding why it happened maybe helps you work through more of the forgiveness and being able to forgive a little bit quicker. The second thing we're going to talk about is understanding your emotions. I kind of touched base with this a little bit in the first part that we talked about, but a lot of times as men, we want to push everything down. We don't want to deal with the problems. We want to go have a drink with our buddies, or we want to go shooting, or we want to go, however we're trying to deal with the problem. But in retrospect, we are really not dealing with the problem. We are just pushing it down. And usually what happens is problems compound other problems, where one little thing and you add another little thing on top of it, another little thing on top of it, and pretty soon you have this big explosion, and this is where fights, and this is where really damage happens in a relationship. It really does come down to communication. I think communication in a relationship is the biggest issue I think a lot of people have. It's one of the issues I personally had in my last relationship. Communication was a big thing, and I thought I was doing good, and I don't think I was doing as well as I should have. And so that's something that, I really reflect on and really try to make a difference. So, if you're feeling some emotions and you're feeling some difficulty, and that is leading to you not forgiving your partner, communicate with them. Don't shove that down. Don't keep pushing that down, because I guarantee when you're not ready, it's going to come up and it's going to make problems worse than it really is. So the third thing we're going to talk about is a safety zone. What I mean by a safety zone is create, I don't want to say walls in your heart, but guard your heart. This is one of the things I had difficulty with, or I still have difficulty with in my relationships. When I meet somebody, I'm eager to see where things go. I'm excited. We always have that butterfly when we first meet people, and I want to show them all my cards. I want to, in some ways, I want to flood them so they either make the choice to stay or to leave. And sometimes that can be, one, overwhelming to the person, and two, it puts my heart at danger. And so anytime you are trying to forgive somebody and you work through that problem, take baby steps. Protect your heart. Don't be too over emotional. Create some safe zones for yourself. Maybe even set a goal each week, that each week you're going to work through one issue, or each week you're going to do, one little thing in order to work through and be able to forgive the person, but you still have those walls up to protect yourself, and to do it very slowly and in baby steps. And the fourth thing we're going to talk about is the one thing I think we all have difficulty with, and we think we do, but we're really not doing it, and that's completely letting it go. One of the things I've realized in relationships is a lot of times people think they're forgiving each other, but they're really not. And what they're doing is they're saying, okay, I forgive you, but I'm going to keep this checklist. And basically they keep this checklist, and every time something comes up, they present this checklist to their partner, and they say, hey, see, look what I forgave you. Look what I did. And that's really not letting go. Letting go is trying to forget about it, to put it in the back of your head, to not bring it up, to not mention it in passing, not mention it even in joking, to completely let it go. And to completely let it go is to truly forgive. And it's something that me personally, I have difficulty with. A lot of times I get angry about the person that hurt me, and I want to bring things up and say, look, look what you did to me, and use that as leverage. But that's really not letting it go. It's kind of keeping that checklist and reminding the person. And when you're reminding the person, you're also reminding yourself, and you're holding yourself hostage. So if there's somebody in your life that you need to forgive, maybe take these steps that we've talked about today and try to completely let it go, move forward. One of the things that I try to do when I try to let something go is I keep myself busy. If there's something in your life that you're trying to let go, don't focus on it. Keep yourself busy. Keep yourself moving forward. And then again, the one thing that I didn't bring up that I probably should have brought up right off the beginning was the power of prayer. If you're not a believer, I understand you're probably thinking, well, I'm not going to pray. If you are a believer, let me encourage you to start with prayer. It's one of the things that in the last couple months I've really struggled with myself. It's something that I struggle with on a daily basis. Lately, my faith has kind of been struggling. I thought by the age of 40, which I am now, that I would have, I guess I don't want to say this dream life, but this happy life and building a life with somebody. The Lord has blessed me very greatly. He's blessed me with a house. He's blessed me with great friends, a great job. But that special person is definitely missing. And sometimes I get frustrated that that person hasn't come along yet. I thought they've have a couple times, but I'm 40 and now single again. And so one of the things that I've been trying to do lately is kind of keep the prayer in mind and be thankful for what I have. If you're not a praying person, then it's not going to hurt. It's talking out loud, and communication is the first step of completely letting something go and completely forgiving somebody. So thank you for tuning in today's vlog. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe. Please hit the like button. And if you do like this video, share it with your friends, your family, and have a great day, and God bless.